Welcome to Medill Sports Talk, where we break down the news this week for the sports you love. It's episode 20 here on MST, and what a show we have lined up for you. New analysts, an exciting new format for our last segment. What more can you really ask for? I'm Alexa Adler, and today we'll be breaking down the NHL offseason, the Open Championship in golf, and our all-decade teams. Please join me in welcoming two new members to the MST family, Andrew Weiss and Doug Greenberg. But I will say the Caps have done an incredible job of using puck luck to their advantage and really playing with their depth. So they've really outplayed and out-hustled Vegas because all of their lines have been very strong and their special teams have been incredible. Their power plays and their power kill teams have really made the difference in what could be a Game 5 win and the first time in 43 years that Washington will hoist the Stanley Cup.
The Washington Capitals take on the Tampa Bay Lightning for a spot in the Stanley Cup Finals. Alexa, who do you got?
All right. I have the Caps on this one, and here's why. Because the Caps only fell to Tampa Bay 1-2 during the regular season during an overtime loss, and I think now actually the Caps are playing better than they ever have before. I think Braden Holtby has kept the Capitals in the playoffs. He's incredible. His save percentage is actually higher this year during the playoffs than last year. I think that it's going to come down to who wants it more. Obviously, Tampa Bay is incredibly talented. It's a Vezina finalist against a Vezina recipient.
The O is smiling and forever positive Alexa Adler, who actually just told me today she cares more about the Capitals than her future kids.
Love you, Jordan, and to my unborn twin boys, Ovi and Backy, stop watching.
All right, everybody.
Hey, Hogan, the whole point of preseason is to make it to the regular season, right? So if you have these fights going on and breaking out and somebody gets injured during preseason and their career's over, what a waste. Per usual with the NFL, good for business, but not great for the players.
We're talking about playing the neutral zone too. That's been a huge difference.
Huge difference. Well, I got to give a shout out, of course, to TJ Sochi, an American hero, as we all know. I think that the grit and the determination and the aggressiveness of all of the players of the Capitals, they're taking hits, but they're being smart about it. We talked earlier about Tom Wilson, how he needs to be smart because we don't want to see him in the box, because we don't want to give Vegas an opportunity to capitalize from a power play. He's been playing smart, but still physical. Ovechkin, we got to talk about the shot blocking, the guys like Ovechkin, Devontae Smith-Pelly, all the players are stepping up. I think the statistic is that Vegas had 54 shots in the last game, and over 20 of those were blocked by Caps players and never even made it to Holtby. So that's incredible. That's obviously a huge help for Holt Beast.
I've been having a lot of fun with it. TJ Oshie among them as well.
Oh God, that amazing beer flip! I love it. I gotta say, something that's so incredible about the Caps is that DC has been dying for a championship, waited over 20 years to get this, to have a citywide celebration. And this is our first Stanley Cup. And the fact that the Caps were out there partying with the fans, sharing it with DC, that shows you these are good guys that love DC as much as DC loves them. So finally, it's never too early to ask, as they chanted during their celebration parade, back to back, is this a team that could make another run at the Cup next year?
Washington, however, has won 21 road games this year, which ties for the most in the Eastern Conference's Metropolitan Division. That's impressive. Alexa, with a win, the Capitals would secure their first Stanley Cup franchise ever. So, would you pick this team to win Game 5? Can Washington do it?
Absolutely. They're going to end it. Game 5, it's over. Ovechkin, Holtby, this entire team is rallying around the depth we are seeing. Every single player is coming to these games, showing up. Lars Ellers, Kristen Jews, everyone on this team wants it. There's not a single player that is on that ice that is slacking off or not making smart plays. So I think that I think that DC is finally going to win the Stanley Cup, which is going to be huge because the last time DC celebrated a sports championship was when the Redskins won the Super Bowl in 1991. So I think it's time. It's time for DC to be all Caps and rocking the red. Deserves it. This is all that's missing from his Hall of Fame career. He deserves this. But also, the Capitals really need to be careful with the ice, because if they can't figure out how to play with this melted ice, then they're not going to be able to win the series. They need to. The ice bounces differently on this bad ice, and Vegas.
Well,
come on.
Golden Knights were playing on the same ice
but
too.
they're used to it. It's their home team advantage.
That's fine.
So that's the thing.
That's fine.
But it's BS, in my opinion, to get a little bit crazy with the hot take here. I don't think Vegas should be spending so much money on these ridiculous pyrotechnics before the show with the shooting fire and the ice. This isn't Cirque du Soleil here, people. This is playoff hockey, okay?
We've never seen anything like this before. What sets this Golden Knights team apart?
Any hockey fan can have a vested interest in the Golden Knights because most people have a player from their home team on the squad. So it's really incredible to see these players that have been successful in their own rights before they joined the Golden Knights to sort of come together and form this incredible chemistry and bond, which you never know if that's going to work out or not. I mean, I think that people doubted William Karlsson, but he's been a breakout star. You've got Nate Schmidt, Marc-Andre Fleury, Braden McNabb. These people all have something to prove. Their teams let them walk away, and they're out here killing it. They're undeniable.